Hi guys, it's Molly with Soul School Spiritual Guidance and Healing. Welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for being here. If you guys are interested in information regarding booking a personal reading, all of that is available for you in the description box below. So let's go ahead and get into the messages. I do have some cards on the table that were talking to me, kind of wanted to come out. I don't know how many of them we'll get to because the channeled messages are pretty strong. I did try to record a reading for you guys on Monday. I actually recorded a reading for you guys last Friday because the one I posted on Friday was from the prior Wednesday. But I didn't post the one I did on Friday because as I was reviewing it, it just seemed like a very personal message. So it definitely came in handy. A lot of really interesting energy got moved around for me personally this weekend. And Monday when I checked in to try to do a reading for you guys, like it just wasn't there. Due to all these energy shifts that I've been undergoing, like, man, I've been conversing so closely with my guides. We've been having some very interesting conversations. And then when I sit down to do a reading, it's like, okay, Spirit, have any of these conversations that we've been having, are any of those ones that I need to bring to the collective? And so what they want me to talk about is something that I've been, how can I say, I've been mining my guides for information about energetic imprints, okay? AKA energetic patterning. And that is the topic that I would like for us, that they would like for us to be able to discuss today. I think these cards, I've got the Alchemical Visions Tarot, I've got the Self-Care cards, I've got the True Love Reading cards, which are kind of my energy healing cards. And I do feel like we are going to get some messages from them. But let's start off by defining what energetic patterning or energetic imprints are. So most of us, when we're born into this lifetime, we come into this lifetime in a pretty pure energetic state, okay? We are who we are. And some of you guys, if you've been on your spiritual journey for a while and you've done some inner child healing, it's like you know this. This is a part of why it is so important. Okay, we're going to keep you. Yeah, I understand. Okay, there's a lesson in this, all right? I'm so sorry for my spaciness. Okay, let's get back here. You know why it's important to reconnect to your inner child? Because it's like your inner child knew who you were before society came in and tried to make you into something different, right? So you can think of this child as carrying your child self, as carrying as close as possible to your original energetic blueprint, right? And then we're born into a family. We're sent away to a school. We're a part of a society, a member of a community, right? Our life begins to be imprinted. Our energy bodies begin to become imprinted with codes. They're showing me, it's almost like computer coding. I don't know how to code, right? It's not like all like binary, but it's very almost like HTML. I had MySpace. That's the extent of my HTML training. If you know, you know. If you're old enough to know, you know. You had to like go copy the code to get like the flamingos to dance on our page or something ridiculous like that, right? But that's just the image that I get, right? It's like they'll show me somebody's energy body with like, it's like there's this like digital holographic like HTML code that's been pasted onto their energy body, all right? Okay, these codes essentially, they're just these patterns that we fall into, these socially conditioned patterns. The way that you think about ordinary concepts like male and female. The way that we, like I was thinking about examples of some of this patterning. The way that we see somebody that's different from us and are unenlightened, like if you, before you do your shadow work and you like realize this about yourself and begin to heal it, I, at least, was trained, like when you see somebody that's different than you, the first thought that comes through is judgment, right? That's an energetic imprint that we get from our society. I'm not going to go into how they got into society, Just not my territory right now. But they end up like, here's all these beautiful, literal earth angels, star seeds. You guys know, I believe we all have the DNA of our galactic neighbors. But some of us literally like came here as part of a mission, right? To change the energy of the planet Earth. And here we are all walking around trying to do our work, but I can see upon us all these HTML codes, these energetic imprints, that it's like it's a pattern that we unconsciously, what's the word that I want? Consented to at some point in time in our lives. A way of thinking about something, a way of acting, right? It's just those unconscious things that we see other people in the world doing them, right? And we can take note of that. We can say, oh, wow, like this person's really, really great, but I understand that they have certain, tendencies, certain patterns, certain habits that are representative of the matrix. That's where they got them from. That's where we get these patterns from, is from the matrix. So even when we set our intention to, I don't know if you guys have ever set this particular intention, but if not, Spirit's coming through and saying, do it now. Setting the intention towards energetic sovereignty. What energetic sovereignty allows you to do is to claim your own energy field back from anything that you've given away any piece of it to, right? And it's a process. Just like clarifying the will, tempering the ego, like shadow work, all of these things are an ongoing process. And a part of that should be understanding that we've got to clear these imprints out of our energy field, all right? Because a lot of you are woken up to the system and all the ways in which the system, the matrix, the world that we live in, has distorted you, has taken you away from your original energy signature, your unique energy blueprint that you brought into this world to change this world with this very beautiful, unique energy that you have, right? And this is, the more I talk about this, the more they're giving me new messages. This is really, it's essentially like a dystopian society in which there's a bunch of people walking around and it's like they're not even using their eyes. They're not even like aware of themselves and the world around them. They're just carrying out the programming, almost like they're AI, right? And I'm not trying to cause any like AI phobia or anything like that. If you guys aren't already aware of the ways in which the ET/AI just consciousness issues overlap and the conversations going around like regarding that, it's very, very interesting. Because when we understand consciousness in the way that we do, it's like, where does AI consciousness come from? I'm not going to go down the rabbit hole. I'm backing out of the rabbit hole. Okay, I'm literally talking to my guides right now. But I'm not saying that people are AI. I'm just saying the energy body can be programmed in such a way. Okay? Because it's like it gets imprinted into our subconscious mind, and we can go in there and we can dig out and we can reprogram our subconscious mind to be like, I don't think of male and female that way anymore. I don't automatically jump to judgment when I see somebody different than me, right? Things like that. We're reprogramming ourselves from the inside out. But it's like some of us are still carrying these things that we're unaware of in our energy fields. Okay? And all of us, I'm saying like me too, like the tendency to make myself small, there's an energetic pattern and imprint that I've picked up that I know is still in my energy field. I'm working on getting it out. These things can be so deeply ingrained, okay? So this is beautiful. That these are the two cards that have come out of the Alchemical Visions Tarot. I had split the deck and this Ace of Pentacles is just staring at me. Because like I said, you guys, it's a journey. It is a quest. It's like when you're like, how do I say this? There's too many. There's too many. There's too many. I have too many thoughts. This has been a real struggle for me. Mercury. That makes sense. You guys. 2 and 2 just got put together. It turns out it's 4. I'm a Gemini moon. My moon is conjunct my Mercury in Taurus. I'm Virgo ruled. Like, I'm Mercury dominant. Sometimes I don't even pay attention to how much, just like my thoughts get scattered. 2 and 2. 2 sitting over here and the other 2 sitting over here. And I'm like, put them together, it's 4. Sorry, you guys. I'm navigating through my mind. There's a lot of thoughts coming in. So I'm just kind of weeding out what's mine and what's coming from spirit. When you set out on your spiritual journey, right, sometimes you're like, oh, I take one step and I'm going to be on that path for a long time. We understand, right? You're trying to go into your shadow work, which, by the way, what a perfect metaphor of going like through the woods. Okay, Little Red Riding Hood stuff. We got like Luke Skywalker going into the swamp in Dagobah. And he's like, what's in there? And Yoda says, only what you take with you, okay? So, all right, they're showing me a lot of stuff. Okay, all right, one step at a time. Look, you got your guides pointing you in the direction of this castle. And this castle is stability. I feel like this castle is energetic sovereignty, okay? Energetic sovereignty should be a goal for all of us. I don't hear people talking about it a lot. It is a huge part of the path that I've been on for the past several years. So I feel like this is a place that needs some teaching. And then here's the Hierophant, which is the teacher. What they're showing me here is this guy's like, all right, I'm on a horse. There's this path in the woods, but you get a little further down the path and there's not, right? Okay. This guy's like, I know I want to get to this castle. This castle is my energetic sovereignty. And the guides are like, lo, it's that direction. They're there. And the fact that it's an Ace of Pentacles shows me, like, it makes me feel like that's amazing. Thank you. They're populating this image with other symbols and images. All right. So it's like your guides have placed on your path these little signs to let you know what direction to go to. Like maybe you get to where it's dark and you see a little red ribbon tied to a tree and you just know that that's the way to go, right? So actual physical symbols and signs being placed on your path by your guides, okay? But also what they're showing me is this guy's like, all right, coast looks clear. And as he's making his way there, these like goblins are coming out to like, they want to get at the feet of his horse. The horse is his vehicle. So let's talk about that. Your inner state is your vehicle for transmutation, for connecting with spirit, for creating your own reality, for healing yourselves, right? Your energy body is your vehicle in some way, shape, or form as well. That's amazing, you guys. The images that they're showing me. By the way, this is straight, like, these are not earthly messages. I want you guys to know this. These messages are not coming from messengers on this planet. Okay? Which is beautiful. I thank them. I've been working a lot with Arcturians. I'm playing some Arcturian music right now. Maybe that's why they're coming through. The Arcturians are really great. The Arcturians are the ones that give me these, like, images of the energy body and how the energy body works. Thank you, Arcturians. Let's get back to this. So what this message is to say is that once you set, now it makes sense why it's been such a treacherous road for me, because I made the declaration, set the intention towards my own energetic sovereignty. That when you decide to do that, there's so many things your guides are so in support of that goal. They're going to do everything they can. They are the folks that like send you stuff that they drop from the plane in Hunger Games. You know what I'm talking about? They're like, oh my God, I'm super gonna lose the Hunger Games, and then somebody drops in like, I don't know, like a fur coat, or like, I don't know, a bow and arrow, whatever it is, okay? that you need to survive in that moment, your guides are on it. Look, they're like up here. It's like you're going into the Hunger Games and they're like, we're going to drop these supplies for you. Just look for them. Okay? But the reason why these goblins are running out of the woods is actually really interesting, because when I sat down today, I said, all right, there's these two conversations that we're having, Spirit. One is about energetic sovereignty. The other is and energetic imprints. And the other is about like demons. I've never talked about demons on this channel. And I'm always very careful with the language that I choose, because I realize while that might make sense as a term to me, there are a lot of people who tie that word into, it's just very closely bound up with a Judeo-Christian ideology, okay? Demons to me are these like fourth dimensional tricksters. Like they're not coming after you just to come after you. Their job is to create distortion. Okay? Their job is to be the obstacles on the obstacle course, because in overcoming the obstacles, you become more strong. You get over an obstacle and you're like, whoa, I didn't know that I could do it. And your guides are like, we did. We just needed to show you. Right? Yeah, that's very interesting. So some of these energetic imprints, they're tied up with like the quote unquote demon energy, the distorter energy, right? See, here's the catch. Here's what I'm gonna let you guys in on, all right? When you get to a certain, I don't want to sound like exalted or superior anyway, like anything like that. Please understand. For the past 2.5 years, I have been in almost daily conversation with my guides doing the inner work. And some of the things that they have shown me, the truths that they have shown me, the recollection of the mystery school teachings that I had in other lifetimes on other planets are so vast and so huge that it's just sometimes really hard to squeeze them all into this human experience. I don't think I'm inferior to anybody, but sometimes I'm given the perspective that I've done a shit ton of searching over the past several years, and maybe stumbled into some truths that it just takes people a long time to get to, right? So when you get to a certain level of understanding about the world, you understand that like good and evil doesn't really exist, okay? Those who are doing good are doing what they believe is right. Those who are doing evil are doing what they believe is right. Okay? And these two forces like need each other in a certain way. That enlightenment having been gained, I still am like, nah, man, F the darkness. That's what I am here to do, is to transmute the darkness into light, right? So while there's nothing inherently evil about what we prefer to call evil, and I'm able to see beyond that dichotomy, I still use the dichotomy because it's helpful to me. There's an energetic imprinting, just calling things good and evil. I'm going to be honest with you. But it allows me to move in a certain way that I feel is helpful to my cause and my mission. But nonetheless, here we are. We've got these energy bodies with all these like HTML codes pasted all over it, and penguins dancing. And I just had this vision in my mind of what if we were able to decorate our energy fields the way we decorated our MySpace pages. It just would be fun. So here we are. We have these energy bodies. That at the core of them is our unique, beautiful, energetic imprint that we were meant to bring into this world. And then what I can see on the surface is all this coding that's pasted onto them, all right? And so it is a long process to confront those and encounter those. But the picture just came through. But what happens when you get into that castle? Okay? Because they're showing me, once you get into this castle and you have energetic sovereignty, you don't have to worry about these goblins all the time. Because once your energy is your own, those goblins aren't even trying to, like, those goblins will hurt themselves if they come at you. Okay? So this is somebody who's going from being out in the woods where they have all these sort of like attacks on their energy field. And people do this unconsciously. There are people in your life who will attack your energy field, not because they're trying to, but because they're acting out their own programming that they're unconscious of. Okay? Once you get through that, you are in that castle. And in that castle, you are safe and you're protected. This castle, the whole, just like the idea, they're giving me that feeling. Like they put my body in the middle of the woods and I'm like, ah! And then I put the body in the middle of the castle and I'm like, oh my God, I feel so safe here. I feel safe and I feel protected. That's what it is when you have energetic sovereignty, okay? So this image of the Hierophant is what's going on inside that castle. This cup is important. Oh my God. It's that idea of like you when you have energetic sovereignty, oh my God, I wish you guys could see the pictures I'm seeing in my mind. It's just so beautiful. You are a self-replenishing fountain. You are a self-replenishing fountain. When it comes to your emotions, when it comes to your energy, you know what drains it, you know what fills it up, and you know how to keep that balance. Because we're always talking about like our cups running dry. Okay? You know, like when we're in certain relationships that just drain us. And all this language about like, you know, you got to fill your own cup before you can fill somebody else's. Someone who has energetic sovereignty is somebody who can sit in their own cup. This is a self-contained system. Okay? I feel like some of these dudes are just representing kind of like nonsense and noise. But look at him staring straight ahead, unbothered by the nonsense and noise. Okay? I feel like this person, and it's just kind of a funny image, like travels through the world in this cup with this castle. So you can go to like just a place where people are just like la, 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 little demon energies all around you. And you can pass through that energy, but you're impervious to it because you have this energetic sovereignty. Okay? But these guys down here that are looking around, it's just a reminder that in order to maintain that energetic sovereignty, you really do, you need the walls, and the walls represent the boundaries, okay? This is about establishing boundaries in order to protect your energetic sovereignty once you've got it, to kind of always be on the lookout, all right? Like there's this like blind guy kind of about to wander out of the castle, and that's just to say, even when we feel very comfortable, we can sometimes unconsciously give away a little bit of that energetic sovereignty without even knowing it, okay? So all it's saying is like, just like we always have to be aware of like, well, where's my ego in this whole situation? What's coming from higher self? What's coming from ego? You know, what's coming from intuition? What's coming from my like imagination and my like anxieties and things like that? We know that there are multiple levels of discernment that are necessary in order to master your energetic body, your psychic gifts, skills, etc., etc., etc. And every single one of these things, it's kind of like, you know, if you want to put up a fence to keep your cattle in, every now and then you're going to have to repair the fence, right? You just have to be aware of it. Aware. All right? There was another thing trying to come through about boundaries. Oh, yeah, that's true. There's this conversation I was having with somebody this weekend, and they're like, why do you have these rules for your life? Because I've kind of, every now and then I'll say something and be like, oh no, I just have this rule. I don't do that. I don't do this. I don't get into that situation. I don't get into that situation. And I felt like they saw this as something that was very self-restricting. Like they were trying to call me out on self-restricting behaviors, right? What happened is I told them, there's this moment, and I used to work in inner city high schools, right? And I'm not a very good disciplinarian. Just not. But sometimes it's really, really needed, okay? So I remember having a conversation with an admin, and the admin said, discipline is a gift. Discipline is an act of love that we give to children. And I'm not talking about like admonishment or anything like that, but boundaries and structure are a gift that we give to those that we love, right? And I explained there's a point in time where I didn't really have many of those because I didn't have the amount of love and respect that I have now for myself, right? And that these quote unquote rules that I have, first of all, they're my rules. I made them up. But they are what keeps me in the energetic state that I need to be in order to be my biggest, best, and fullest self. Okay? So certain rules. Like, I'm going to be real with you guys. I do not want to be around people who are drinking. I used to do that all the time. Go out to the bar on the weekend, go out to the bar the next night, spend like 6 to 8 hours in this area that was just full of demonic energies. I don't do that anymore. Because I know better and I know myself. I have more respect for myself than that. There are just certain things, you know how it is. Certain boundaries that you didn't have to have, or that you didn't have, and now you're like, oh no, this is a rule in my life. This is a requirement. This is my self-respect in action. That's what the walls to this castle are, okay? Once you guys begin to step into energetic sovereignty, there's just certain things, there might be certain things that you have to do in order to be able to maintain that. Spirit, is there anything that wants to come out of this self-care deck? The self-care deck was really talking to me, so let's see. I feel like this is my third shuffle. Keep your eyes open, is what it's trying to say. Keep your eyes open. And I do believe that it's not just about boundaries, right? Because it is also very important for us to have an open heart, a heart that is able to trust, right? Trust and discernment can go hand in hand. This says reflect. Oh my God, I love this so much. It's another room in the castle. It's another room in the castle. And it's got this beautiful view, right? It's like, is that what's on the, like, this castle has this view on the other side of it. Okay? Reflect on where you came from. Reflect on what suited you in the past. Reflect on all the work you've had to do in order to maintain energetic sovereignty up to this point. And reflect on the fact that you know that's where your transformation happens. Okay? I saw this really great video today, and it's like, wow, these are things that I know, but I don't always teach. I don't always remind people of. When we go through something that feels like this, the goblins coming at us, like going through the woods, kind of stuff like that, it takes time to integrate that. That's the pendulum swing of the doing and being. You got to do the thing, and then that allows you to be and to become the new person to go out and do the next thing. Okay? And that concept comes from the laws of Hermeticism, of rhythm, of polarity, the law of gender, right? And gender is just inward force, outward force, okay? Electricity, magnetism, okay? That's quantum reality. So what this is saying right now is it's okay to stop and take some time to reflect about what is in, who and what you're allowing in your life at this time. This telescope lets me know that she's got plans. She's got dreams. She's looking off into the horizon, right? And then it's like she comes here and she sits down, and this is like her bubble of protection. Oh my gosh, that makes sense. This is her bubble of protection, okay? And I feel like she's taken it off. Oh, because you're right. Because she's found her sanctuary. Within her own energetic sovereignty, she has found a sanctuary where she doesn't have to constantly be on guard to the energies around her. But I also see there's no HTML code on this. Reflect on what you've already done. Reflect on what you have already been through, just in order to get your energy back from the certain situations that you found yourself entangled in the past. And then don't allow yourself to get entangled in those situations again, right? It all becomes really clear once we reach this castle, okay? All right, they want to go ahead and close this down. I wanted to get you one more card, but my guides are like, don't throw us under the bus like that. I won't do that. I was being facetious. All right, so I love this. And then you know what, you guys? The last message that they do want me to deliver is this blue, okay? This blue. This blue is coming through both as throat and third eye chakra energy, okay? Look, okay. You got to really look carefully at people and the patterns that they're acting out. And when you see that they're acting out some sort of energetic imprint, that doesn't mean you need to banish them from your life or that they're bad people or anything like that. Just be aware of it and how it affects you. Use your voice to speak your boundaries when it's necessary. Okay? All right. I love you guys. Take care. I'll see you back here again soon.